Hello. How is everybody? Tired? Worn out? Exhausted? Good? I have a half an hour, and I have so much information, it's ridiculous. So I'm going to go through as fast as I possibly can, okay? I'm apologizing in advance. And in this afternoon, I'm going to be in one of the fireside rooms, so if you want to come and have a deeper discussion with me, that's the opportunity to do so. And we're moving over. Just a minute. She says, I am a mover. So here's a question for you. How many of you have been to Vegas? Las Vegas. Who's been to Vegas? All right. How many of you had that experience in Vegas where you had just a really good time, then you came home and told everybody about it? Did you? Has everybody had that? No. But you know you're not supposed to do that. Because Vegas is the whole idea of you go to Vegas and what you do in Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Everybody's heard that, right? Which one are you? The one that comes back and talks about what you did, and the one who comes back and says, it was fine. But we're looking at a preschool with deaf children in it. Whatever happens in that preschool, it's not like it stays there in the preschool. It comes with them. So whatever happens in preschool doesn't stay in preschool. So why should we care? And what can we do about it? Look at this one. And if you can't read what it says, she goes, I sign ASL, I'm happy, I'm deaf. Yay! She's 2. I mean, obviously, she's got that language in there. She's already in the language acquisition phase. So, really cool. Again, what happens in early childhood, that's going to impact all the later academic success and the rest of their life. And from birth to age 3, critical time. If the kids don't have that foundation of language, there's going to be a language delay, cognitive delay, literacy delays, and we might never quite catch up. So they need to be exposed to ASL as early as they can. If they miss that an early window, it just might not be possible for them to ever be as they could have been had they had that. I don't know if anybody can see the words here. Can you actually read this? I'll summarize kind of what it's talking about. So we now have a preponderance of evidence to suggest that if deaf and hard of hearing children have not acquired a language early, there can be lifelong impacts. Which means that the families of deaf children who receive cochlear implants shouldn't necessarily abandon all attempts to sign. If the child doesn't succeed with the implant, then signing would still ensure that the child has a language that they can use. Okay, we've got more and more support and evidence that suggests that early exposure to ASL, and if you help deaf children build their understanding of language metalinguistic awareness of ASLs, so if you have teachers and parents help them understand how the language works as well as what the language is, and then connecting it with English, that can make a difference. It means their literacy skills, particularly their reading and writing skills, get much better. Which means that learning ASL provides a strong language foundation. And it can only help, not hurt, any spoken language development, and that all children could benefit from learning ASL. But if we wait to see if the DHH child will develop spoken language before we introduce ASL, then this deaf child's struggling with a spoken language, and this is what happens. Now we use this phrase a lot, the critical window thing, and because it is so critical, and once it's closed, it's closed. So if you're envisioning a child's literacy journey and what they feel like when they're learning to read and write, we want them to enjoy the experience. We want it to look like this picture, not like this one. We don't want that frustration. I mean, none of us do. None of us want to see a child struggling like that. So in order to provide that foundation, I just have a couple of examples here. This is a mother who's signing with an infant. And you're seeing a little bit of ASL, but particularly notice the rhythm of the signing. Thinking, and there's something about gloves too. She's saying, where are the gloves? Where are the gloves? And then child signing gloves. But you can see, I mean, you've got a child that young already communicating with the parent through sign language, playing with language, and interactive literacy and development of the language. Once those foundations in place, then by the time they're 5, they have so much already. I mean, think about this. This is what a 5-year-old can have. A vocabulary of 2,500 words, receptive vocabulary, 3,000 to 5,000 words. They understand how books work, what are titles, how do you do a book. They can write and recognize their own name in print. And they'll know their alphabet and the print alphabet, fingerspelling and print. By age 5, they're able to retell stories that they've been told. They even can recognize some sight words by that point. And they can answer questions. If you ask them about what they've read, they're able to provide an answer. And by that point, they're using sentences, 4 to 8 words. This is what's possible. But how that gets done is exposure to ASL, fine. Just 100% accessibility to language, period. But you've got to focus not just on language, but literacy. So those approaches, which means, you know, there has to be an interactive component to it. You have to have print involved. You've got to have rich communication, and you need to have deaf role models too. It's not just learning to recognize words. It's much more in depth for literacy. You've got to have a deaf adult. And we've been talking about that over and over again this morning, the importance of role models and language models. So those children who need that exposure, it's just like, and if they want to do, there's no reason not to do spoken language while you're still exposing them to ASL. It's not an either or kind of thing. You can provide them that foundation. But you need deaf adults there, in the home, in the classroom. The environment has to be literacy rich, which means you need to have written materials, books, those sorts of things at home and at school. And fingerspelling is this big bridge that you've got between ASL and English to take advantage of. It's also a way to help them decode. And I know these are all kinds of things that you can do, so you're saying, what are the strategies? This is a whole list of them, but I'm going to choose just a couple to talk about here. One of the things you want to do is explain what an unfamiliar word means. If you're doing storytelling, making sure that that has some connection to their real life experiences. Ask a lot of questions, WH questions, not just yes/no questions. Why do you think that? What is this for? What are they doing? Which thing is the better one? Those kinds of things. And if the child responds to something and it's not quite, full, you can just expand on that, model that for them. And this is the reason you need to have deaf role models. They are the fluent native models of ASL. They also are the ones who can enculturate these kids, also to build the child's self-esteem, to facilitate the development of their personal identity, improve their ability to have social interactions. A deaf adult can really help a child to get motivated. I see an adult reading, that makes me want to read. And if there's deaf characters in a book, that can really excite them. And research actually says that the exposure to deaf adults isn't necessarily just good about that relationship, but it can do more than that either. It can actually improve their other relationships. So looking at a literacy-rich preschool, what would be in that environment? Each child should have at least 5 to 8 books. So that's sort of the ratio of child to book. So 5 children in a classroom means you got to have 25 to whatever, 5 to 8 books child is, it works out. And if you're doing centers-based education, you want reading and writing materials in every single center. So not just in the reading corner, but in every part of the room. You need print available in the environment, things they see, but not up there against the ceiling like those letters that used to be there. They need to be at the eye level of the child, so as they walk around the room and the environment, they're constantly being reminded of print. And it's great if you also have a specified ASL media center. So video the students, and then you can keep those videotapes. They can watch themselves signing, or if you have a media specialist, you can help them film, you can have other deaf signers there, you can have movies with deaf characters. But then that's great, greater literacy-rich environment. You've got books, you've got all of this stuff. But if you don't have those discussions, you have to have really meaningful, in-depth conversations, because it's the other part of it. You can't just have the environment set, you have to be taking action as well. For preschool, there should be read aloud every single day. Every single day. And there need to be language fluency activities all through the day. So little bits and pieces of literacy, if it's like playtime, if it's drama time, if it's calendar time, whatever it is, we're going to go outside. Great. So have you got pictures? Have you got print talking about the playground or labeling things and the sign being exposed? Maybe one of the things you do is you give them a picture of something outside or the word of something, they have to find it, do a little scavenger hunt. There are all kinds of things you can do to just include literacy in all the activities in the classroom. And then the other thing that's really important are ASL stories, where you're dealing with that language play that's so important in language acquisition, ABC stories, 1, 2, 3 stories, and that has to happen daily. So here, you may be sitting here going, oh my gosh, what if I'm not fluent in ASL? What if I'm teaching in a rural area, there are no deaf adults in my area? What if I have no idea how to manage some of these bilingual strategies? What if the students don't even know ASL? And suppose you're working with kids who are older. Does it mean that this stuff isn't relevant? This is my suggestion. You can use the media and technology that's out there as support, not as a replacement for this, all the other strategies for literacy development, but it's available. video phones, FaceTime, Skype, any way that you can be in touch with a deaf adult, maybe from the School for the Deaf, maybe from out in a different community, but it's like, what can you do to have them as part of your classroom? And then the other thing that's possible to really do for children is have media that has deaf characters in it that the kids see. We developed a series that we call Peter's Pictures. It's a free series online for anybody. It's all research-based, evidence-based strategies, so it really helps kids in those early years develop literacy skills. So some of the kids have never even been exposed to ASL. They've never seen it before. They don't even know what it is. They still can look at something like this and benefit from it. So I'm going to show you just a little clip from that particular series, Peter's Pictures. You can see this is letter recognition activities and bilingual strategies in place. So there's ASL being in the environment and print being in the environment. So we're looking at English print, we're looking at ASL features. And so let me just show this to you. This is Peter going, hey, this is my friend. This is my picture pal. You're going to see a letter come up. Wait. It's letter recognition time. What's a letter?
I don't know.
Why don't we ask Picture Pal? Let's see. What's a letter? What's today's letter? Did you get it? Did you see it? Did you see it?
I didn't see it, no.
Did you see it? Audio, ask it again, please.
Yeah, I saw it. It's a B.
Right. Today's letter is B. B. Let's see. Where do we use B? Let's ask Picture Pal. What places have a B? Where do we go that starts with B? What a great idea! The backyard.
Backyard. What's that?
Okay, think about your house, and behind your house, that's what we call the backyard. Maybe we should go out to my friend Bob's house. He lives way out in the country. We call him Country Bob. Bob has a huge backyard. Maybe it doesn't look like yours. Maybe yours is a little different. There's a lot of different kinds of backyards. Little teeny tiny backyards. Flat backyards. Yards with a fence and rolling hills of grass. Yards without a fence, but trees everywhere. What are you saying here, hon?
I have a backyard, and I have flowers in my backyard. I can pick them and smell them. They're lovely.
Oh.
Yeah.
What does your backyard look like? Maybe yours is just giant with hills as far as you can see and no fence. What does yours look like? All right. Now sign along with me. Let's sign it together. The letter B, B-A-C-K-Y-A-R-D, backyard. So you see, it's not just the signing of a particular word. There's an explanation of what it is, a little bit of finger spelling, the print, all of that together in one entity. This is another one, too, that talks a little bit about, this is last night. Remember we were talking about the environment kind of stuff, all the environmental cues that are necessary from the Coda Brothers. And attention-getting behavior, here's a model. How to get attention, or teaching how to get attention.
Hey, it's me.
Oh, you silly girl. This is not the way you get my attention. If I'm paying attention to something else, pound on the counter. Okay, that's enough. Good, good, good. And if I don't look at you, another way you can get my attention is to flash the lights.
Oh, yeah. Like this.
Yeah, 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 that's enough. That's enough. That's good. Once or twice. That's all you need.
There we go. Yeah.
But by the way, what do you want?
Oh, yeah, I know.
A napkin? Oh, okay, the napkins are right over there. And the sign and finger spelling of napkin.
Napkin. Yay.
So that's, so there, it's possible for any of you to show this, to develop these skills still through media and technology. That's out there for you. So this is another one where we talk about hand shapes in ASL, that, you know, what are the signs that all use a similar hand shape? Playing with phonology.
Okay, the end. Did everybody enjoy the story? Now, what hand shapes came up in the story? Can anybody tell me? Yes, this hand shape. That's right. You caught it. Good job. You guys are smart. Now, what is that hand shape? What do we use that for?
For waving, hello.
Walking, saying no thank you, or thank you.
Or come on.
Great job. Good work, guys. You were quiet. You paid attention to the story. Good job.
Oh, great. I love the end of the story, where all the friends went off together, because that's us. All going together, right? Great. So the story that she just signed is one of the ones that has a lot of those repetitive hand shapes. There's a butterfly, there's a moth, that kind of stuff. So the signing story has that particular hand shape, has that rhythmic quality to it. So again, whatever happens in preschool is going to be with that child the rest of their life. Children can benefit. If we're using this bilingual approach, ASL and English, tying those two together, all of the kids benefit, and it doesn't matter who they are. It's all going to be good for them. But if that foundation isn't present in the first place, you're going to have delays. It's going to be hard on them the rest of their life. The foundation needs to be 100% full access to language. And ASL can be a foundation for all kids, even if they're ones who are going to use spoken language. So if you provide that high quality, positive, early language experiences and literacy, really high quality, then whatever happens in preschool will benefit that child for their life. And an example here, you'll see deaf adults today who had that exposure. They'll be, oh, you're going to see a film of a deaf man who was somebody who had that foundation, and this is just one of the ways he talks about language. So, I don't know if you can read that, but it says, these hands give me American Sign Language, ASL. I wondered if I didn't have ASL, where would I be? Would I be successful? Maybe, maybe not. I'll never know. But one thing I do know, ASL allowed me to thrive and develop and succeed in my reading and writing, in my work with others. It's simple, really, just my hands. But they empower me to thrive. If you sign ASL, you will too. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.